Good morning, Doc. Good morning, classmates. I am discussant number 6, Glaiza A. Soriano. As a continuation to our topic about educational psychology, I was tasked to present the perspective of educational programs, research, and policy. Educational psychology has a significant role in the development and reform of educational practices. An important contribution of educational psychology is the knowledge and guidance provided to the education of teachers. As noted from the previous reporter, courses in educational psychology are required in the most university teacher preparation programs. According to Hoy 2000, observed that it is through textbooks in educational psychology that we can see what the general public and teachers learn about the application of psychology to teaching and related educational activities. Objectives. At the end of the lesson, the listeners will be able to determine the significance of perspective on educational programs, research, and policy, appreciate the relevance of educational psychology, apply the different knowledge about the educational psychology towards teaching. The role of educational psychologists: important and credible voice in resolving ongoing controversies, critical to the advancement, application of knowledge for educational practice. Learning and pedagogy in initial teacher preparation. For the education of young people, teachers are expected to be the experts in classroom management, curriculum, and instruction, creating classroom environments that are physically and psychologically motivating and transmitting knowledge. According to Darling Hammond, Hoy and Jensen 2009, Hess Rotherham and Weiss 2004, there is a critical need to prepare more teachers than ever before, and there are deeply divided ideas about best practices for initial teacher preparation. According to Darling Hammond 2006, teaching is now viewed as a profession with a complex and a distinguished knowledge base. Current research is focused on the integrated processes and judgments teachers use to navigate this breadth of information. From the early 1980s, educational researchers have focused on building an understanding of specialized knowledge base required to effectively teach the content in multiple ways to diverse learners. Putnam and Borko 2000. Currently, there is a move away from studying an individual teacher's knowledge to studies that focus on interactive systems as the unit of analysis. Whitcomb describes the need for attention to critical research that demonstrates the effectiveness of teacher education programs, noting the commonalities between these and the general calls for greater rigor in educational programs. She describes this debate as illustrated in the reports by the National Research Council. Putnam and Borko 2000. Educational programs, research, and policy. Educational psychology has been at the forefront in the development of research methodologies and statistics. Educational psychologists have been active in the fields of educational measurement, statistics, and research designs, and in the application of these methodologies to educational programs and policy. Levin and O'Donnell, 1999. After reviewing the thoughts of many prior editors and presidents representing in the fields of educational psychology, noted collective concerns about the nature and quality of educational research and preparation of the next generation of researchers. The acronym CAREFUL is used to review components of scientific integrity that can enhance the evidence credibility of educational research, a framework for conceptualizing different stages of such researches, forwarded and promising methodological developments in the instructional research are reviewed. Educational psychology and educational transformation. Malcolms and Press, Malcolms and Whistler 1997, Malcolms and Miller 2007, discussed learner-centered instruction that are set of practices that designed to enable teachers to gain an understanding of cognitive and metacognitive factors in learning, motivational and emotional influences on learning, individual differences, and evaluation. Malcolms discussed current and emerging principles in the field that have been derived from more integrated educational psychological occurring across diverse fields. The ideas she has had illuminated encourage both new and current researchers to engage in collaborative efforts using innovative research, models, and methods that have the greatest potential of impacting research, practice, and policy. Hat's questions. 1. How important is the educational psychology in the teaching and learning process? 2. How would you apply educational pedagogy in the teaching preparation? How educational psychology has affected educational process. Conclusion. So educational psychologist has a big impact to influence and conduct accurate inquiry that will further help the complexity of teaching, especially in the effectiveness of teacher and initial preparation models. So my takeaway about this topic, as teachers, we should not stop in one corner. We need to be more knowledgeable. We should think of the best ways in which we help us to be an effective teacher. The use of different pedagogy will be very helpful, for it might be our greatest tool towards teaching learning process. Educational psychology was designed to enable teachers to choose what practices should he or she will use for the betterment of our learners. Call to actions. Educational psychology was developed to improve teaching and learning. As educator, it is our calling to touch the lives of our young learners. How can we achieve that certain task if we don't be able to navigate the pedagogy in initial teacher preparation? We make use of those pedagogy in teaching to help us become more effective educator for ourselves, for our learners. In 1912, William James proclaimed that psychology and pedagogy were unquestionably intertwined and equally important foundations of effective practice. So here are my references. Bio note. Glaiza A. Soriano graduated Bachelor of Elementary Education at Caraga State University, Ampayon, Butuan City. A licensed professional teacher. She lived in Matilas Nieves, Agusan del Norte, married and blessed with one beautiful daughter. She is currently connected at Dalagangan Elementary School as Municipal School Board Assistant Teacher, a former Provincial School Board Assistant Teacher at Ambacon Elementary School. She is also a volunteer teacher at Dalagangan Elementary School since October 2018 to 2020. Soriano leaving you this message. Proverbs 22 verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will never depart from it. So once again, thank you for listening and have a blissful day ahead.